Welcome back to Meth Psychosis Stories. I'm Micatron, here with your favorite co-host, the Toffinator. The Toffinator is being a little shithead today. Please bear with me if you hear him start to bark or make noise, because he's on one today, y'all. But I love this little guy. He's the cutest little red-nosed pit bull you will ever see. Anyways, today I've got a very, very good story for y'all. It's going to be titled, The Meth Psychosis Strangler. Yes. Also, a very true story. Y'all, please don't forget to support the channel by hitting that like button. Especially, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. All new subscribers are very, very appreciated. And share it wherever you want. This is a true crime story. The Meth Psychosis Strangler. Let's get into it, y'all. On January 24th, 2019, 30-year-old Jordan Henry of Sioux City, Iowa, was homeless, and he was using meth on a very daily basis. Him and his on-again, off-again girlfriend, 40-year-old Elizabeth Bockholt, were in a desperate need for a place to sleep. They had been up for several days on meth in their own two different worlds, but they had met back up. It was super cold in Iowa, and they're like, man, we've got to figure out a way to, crash out so we can get our wits back about us. So Elizabeth went on her way. She was trying to find a way so that they could get a hotel room, and Jordan went on his, and he used one of his friend's cell phones to contact his aunt, Sherry Jones. He asked her if he could come stay with her at her house, but was also talking a bunch of psychotic nonsense about the CIA and the Feds and the FBI. So she knew from his very long, extensive history of meth use, he'd been psychiatrically hospitalized for several times in the past 15 years. Sherry wanted to help, but also she didn't want to allow Jordan in her house, the state he was in. She could tell it was a very dangerous state. So the way she wanted to help was she got him a hotel room at the Wingate Windsor Hotel in Sioux City, Iowa. She rented him the famous, soon-to-be famous, room number 102. Jordan at some point got back together with his ex-girlfriend Elizabeth. They had found their way back, and he said, hey, let's go back to this hotel room that my aunt rented me. And instead of going with their original plan to get some sleep, they actually went and got some more meth. Jordan was in a very paranoid and psychotic state. He actually had the illusion that while Elizabeth was not with him, she was actually getting wired up by the Feds or the CIA. That they were wiring her cell phone and that she was in some way trying to set him up. So they get back to their hotel room, and their favorite way of doing meth is through hot railing. Hot railing is when you take a glass tube, you take a torch, heat the end of the glass tube up till it's red hot, and you snort the meth up. You're getting the smoke and the actual meth. It's like smoking it and snorting it at the same time. So Jordan starts to make semi-snide comments, not all the way accusing her of setting him up with the Feds. But he asked her, where were you whenever we were separated? And she's sitting there thinking, I'm not your girlfriend. I can go do whatever I want. I was trying to help us find a place so that we could crash. And this is why we can't be together, because you act crazy. Which only led him deeper into the illusion that she was trying to set him up. That she was wired up by the Feds, and that she was setting him up. Jordan then cut her a line out of the meth and heated the pipe up till it was red hot, and handed it to Elizabeth. When she stuck the not hot into her nose, bent down, and started to snort it, Jordan attacked her from behind. And he threw her on the ground, and before he knew it, his hands were around her neck, choking the life out of her. Now, strangulation is a very intimate and very time-consuming way of murder. The whole time, Jordan's sitting there thinking, while he's killing his ex, that she can't inform on him to the FBI and the CIA, even though Jordan's not doing anything really that they could get informed on other than using drugs. He's a homeless drug addict. He's not a top kingpin. He's just in a super paranoid state that led him to want to kill his ex-girlfriend because he thought that while she was away that she was getting wired up and tapped by the feds. So he strangles her for probably, it said over 11 minutes he had to have been strangling her till he could tell she was completely dead. And then Jordan realized, hey, the phone that the feds are tapping is still in the room. So he runs over to her phone. He smashes it on the ground, pulls the battery out of it, smashes the phone into a million different pieces, and gathers all the pieces up, puts it on top of Elizabeth's body. At which time, he began to grab all of the bedding and anything cloth out of the hotel room and pile it up on top of his ex-girlfriend Elizabeth's body. So he takes every bit of bedding out of the hotel room and he throws it on top of her. He goes to the bathroom and finds toilet paper. He takes the torch that he used to light the hot railing pipe for Elizabeth before he attacked her, and he lit the toilet paper on fire, and then commenced to throwing the bedding on top of the lit toilet paper, which was also on top of Elizabeth's body, until the whole room basically became engulfed in flames. Jordan then fled the room, where he was seen by multiple witnesses and caught on camera leaving the room. The employees of the Wingate Hotel called 911, where firefighters then tried to revive Elizabeth after they got there, but obviously to no avail. Elizabeth was dead. Police very soon apprehended Jordan Henry and placed him in custody for, at the time, the charge of arson, which very soon was upgraded to first-degree murder charges, where Jordan stayed in jail until it was time for his trial. He was given an option, because in Iowa, you can have a jury trial and you can have a bench trial. Obviously, the defense thought that they had a better chance with the bench trial, where they just presented all the evidence to one judge instead of 12 jurors, which proved to be probably the best idea that the defense could have done. But on day 3 of the bench trial, what really, I think, saved Jordan's life in all of this was they had actually gotten a video conference with Dr. Suzette Glaser, a clinical psychologist from UCLA. She was on a video conference and testified that Jordan could not be culpable for first-degree type of intent because he was delusional off of meth psychosis, which seemed potentially to save his life. The next day, the judge presiding over Jordan's trial sentenced him to 75 years in prison, that he had to do 35 years before he was even eligible for parole on the second-degree murder of his ex-girlfriend Elizabeth Bachholt. Which, if he had been convicted of first-degree murder, he obviously would have been looking at life without parole or the death penalty. So the doctor, the UCLA doctor, Dr. Glaser, Suzette Glaser, actually probably saved Jordan's life. So y'all, this is just, once again, proof the crazy thoughts of a person under meth psychosis. I'm going to go ahead and cut this story to an end, y'all. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe. Till next time, y'all, It's meth psychosis, and we're over and out.
Solid black behind him, and smoke came billowing out into the hall, and just a strong smell. And then the smoke alarms went off throughout the hotel.
Henry previously waived his right to a jury trial, and his bench trial will continue on Wednesday.